Hi, this is Karen at Snickerdoodle Designs. Today I'm going to show you how to use my new stormy weather overlays. This is a set of 9 12-inch by 12-inch overlays designed to simulate rain, snow, and general stormy weather on your photographs or on your page layouts. So let's get started. This is a photograph I took several months ago. It was the first rain of the season, and because we've been having such a drought here in California, I was so excited to see the rain. When it stopped raining, I ran outside to get a picture of the raindrops on the pine branches on the tree in front of our house. But it wasn't raining at that time. I was trying to protect my camera, so I waited until the rain stopped. But let's go ahead and add some rain back into this photograph. We're going to do that by using the Snowy Weather Overlay number 3, which was designed to simulate rain. So all we need to do is drag that over onto our photograph, and you notice that it doesn't completely fill the photograph. This photograph is 16 inches wide and the overlays are only 12 inches, so it's very easy to resize this. We don't have to worry about losing resolution with it like we would if we resized a photo. So to resize it, I'm going to hit Control T on my keyboard, and that will bring up the transform tool, and then I can just grab the handles and drag it over to the sides of the photograph. Click OK to commit the change. Now we just need to change the blend mode of the overlay. To do that, we'll go to the blend mode options here at the top of the layers panel, click on the down pointing arrow, and then click on screen. And now you can see the rain in the photograph. Many times this is all we need to do with a layout, with an overlay on a photograph or a scrapbook page. I chose this particular photograph for this demonstration though because it's light, and I wanted to show you sometimes you can play with it to get some other options, and this is a good photo to demonstrate that with. You can see because it's so light that the raindrops look just like they're kind of sitting on top of the photo, and that's I don't really like that, so we're going to change that. And I'd also like to change the orientation of the rain. So let's go ahead and change the orientation first, making sure that the overlay is active. Bring up the transform tool again, Control T, and just grab that corner handle and change it however you like, and I think that looks good. Now you can see that it is not covering the corners, and that's okay. We'll just go ahead and resize it just like we did before until we're happy with it. Whoops, I let go of my mouse too soon. And that looks good. Click OK, and I like that angle better. Now what I'd like to do is add a levels adjustment to the overlay to change the look of the rain a little bit. And we can do that of one of two ways. We can go to Image Adjustments Levels, or over to the Adjustments panel. Let's close that, come over to the Adjustments panel and click on Levels here. I'm going to go ahead and do it this way so I can show you one additional step if you choose to add the levels adjustment this way. When you add it from the adjustment panel, the levels adjustment goes right on top of the overlay, which is what we want, but it will affect any changes you make in the levels adjustments will affect the photograph as well. To constrain the levels adjustment to just the overlay, we need to clip these together. And to do that, hold down the Alt key on your keyboard, hover your mouse in between the two layers, and when you see the down pointing arrow, just click. And now this levels adjustment is clipped to the overlay. You can tell that because it's indented, and here's a small down pointing arrow. And that means that this adjustment will only affect the overlay, and that's exactly what we want. So click on this to bring back the levels adjustment, and kind of keep your eye on the picture photograph right here as I make changes. But this indicates the number of the type of pixels that are in that overlay, and you can see that they're mostly dark. We want to lighten up some of those raindrops, so we're going to click on this black triangle and drag to the right. And as I do so, if you keep your eye on the photograph, you can see some of the raindrops going away. I'm going to bring it all the way over to the right, and now you can see there's hardly any visible. Let's bring it back to about, I think right about there looks good. Now again, we could be finished with this, but if we want to take it a little bit further, we could come up and change the opacity of the raindrops. So click on the overlay and just reduce that a little bit if you like. And that is a little softer look. And that looks really nice. I think that's perfect as it is. If you want to take it a step further though, you can do that. You can come up to Filter, Blur, and you have Blur, Blur More, and Gausian Blur. Blur will give about a 1 pixel blur, Blur More about a 2 pixel blur, and with Gausian Blur you can adjust or have control over the amount of blur you apply to your photo. I'm going to choose Blur More just to apply a slight blur to those raindrops. And that makes it look even more realistic. I'm really happy with that, and I would call that done. Again, for most of these layouts, all you have to do is change the blend mode to screen, but you can create additional effects by playing with levels, opacity. You can combine some of the overlays to get unique looks every time. So I hope you enjoy playing with these. Thank you for watching my tutorial today.